Hello, this is Mrs. Neubauer, and let's work on our penmanship. So, what ends everything? The letter G. Okay, we're on our next advanced lesson. Hopefully you finished up lesson 26 and understood that it gets a little bit harder and harder to write cursive. So I'm just trying to give you lots of options, and there's another option you're going to have to work on when you do your lessons. So this next advanced lesson is to learn how to write the words with no top line this time. So open air. So if you think you're outside, you're standing on the ground with your letters, but then there's open air, so we don't have the top line. And I'm going to show you on my whiteboard here what I mean. So we're going to just worry about the bottom line. And you're going to find a lot of worksheets like this where they called fill in the blank, depending on if you're doing English or maybe math or social studies or some other subjects, like Spanish or French or something. So you have your line, and you're just going to write your words. So yes, and then just like we've been doing with our concepts, you're going to look at the left letter to help you see and draw the letter you're currently lettering. Look at the left letter, and that would be the sizing. Now I have a no, so remember to start on your bottom line. You want to start underneath and do your O, and then, your N, and then your O isn't even touching the bottom. So you just try to stay in the lines, as they said, and then, does that even look like no? Not really, does it? So it's more legible, you can read it, and hopefully get your answers correct too, right? Okay, so I'll switch cameras and we can get started. Okay, so hopefully you have something to write with. You have number 27, open line practice. Printed off, we have 2 sheets this time. And then, just like we've been doing, we'll trace over the numbers and symbols and words and then try some on our own. So we have colors, different colors now to practice. And we're just going back to our lowercase. We're not going to worry about the uppercase letters. Okay, so first of all, you're just going to, I'm going to trace over the 1. And add a period next to it or a dot, and then try it by itself. Good. And then we'll trace over a zur. All right, and we're going to remember to look at the left to draw our current letter. So let's try it on the next line. So remember, we're just working with that bottom line this time. The top line, the center line are both gone. All right, so we got 1. And then start with your A. Okay, so once you get your first letter established, that's going to help with the next letter. So our Z, remember Z, you're going to look at the top of your A, but this time we have to go down underneath, come back up, and then when you have your U, look at your Z, and then get to your R, you're going to go a little bit above where your U is, and your E is going to be that second part of your R. All right. And then you can try it again. All right, we have bronze next. So same thing, let's draw over our 2, trace over. Try one on your own, and we'll try bronze. Okay. So it's kind of weird not having the top, but you get used to it after a while, and a lot of your worksheets will have it, like I said before. Okay, so let's try. We'll write the number 2, and then we'll try bronze. Okay, so B is going to be both sizes, and then the second part comes to the middle. Your R goes a little bit above the middle, comes back down. And we have our O looking at your R. Your N looks back at your O. The Z looks back at your N, and your E looks back at your Z. So really, it's not too bad. It's kind of like our last lesson when we had to worry about leaving that space at the top. Okay, so lots of different words to work through on the first page. And the second page, we have our pair through zucchini. And then we do have a few months I started off on. So let's see which one we can work on this one. Ooh, xanthus. Okay, so we'll practice the number 9. Okay. And then we won't trace over it. We'll actually just write it on the side. So this one looks a little hard. So let's try xanthus. So we have our 9. Good. So remember your X starts at the bottom. We go up to the middle. And once you establish your middle part, now you're going to look back. Some people want to go back. Don't go back and do your line just yet. Remember, we do it at the end. It's going to look kind of funny. It looks like a little roller coaster in there. Okay, so A. Good. And then my N is going to look back at my A. My T is going to look back at my N, and I go a little bit up to do the top of my T. All right, H is going to go even taller than that T. All right, H is going to have to look back at that N almost. I is looking back at the H. And my S goes a little bit above. Okay, so lots of things to do in this one. Dot that I, cross that T, and put your diagonal on your X. Xanthus. So that was a good one to practice. And you know, you can go back and say, well, my T is a little taller and my S might be a little tall, but that's part of your handwriting and you'll get used to working with that. Okay, so lots to practice today on our advanced lesson, writing without the top line, or the open line, I guess, as they call it. All right, so I think our lesson goal number 27, our advanced lesson, to learn how to write without that top line was hopefully getting closer to successful. We also can call it the open line practice or the top line, either way you want to look at it. And continue to practice those. If you want to print off another sheet and try some more, it's up to you. And just keep progress over perfection. Thank you.